Picking the right airgun ammo is a little different than grabbing any old box of shells off the shelf. In this video, we'll walk through some of the basics to understanding the various pellet styles and options and what to look for when picking the best ammunition for your airgun. While there are variations in size, weight, and quality with firearm ammunition, the choices expand dramatically when you look at all the different airgun pellets currently on the market. There are so many shapes, sizes, and weights, and even varying manufacturing standards and materials that it can be a bit overwhelming and really hard to know what's going to be the best option for accuracy and energy on target. One fact still does hold true, however, which is quality ammunition is almost always more accurate and reliable over the cheap stuff. Essentially, you've got four basic types of pellets. First, let's take a look at the wadcutters. They have a perfectly flat head and are primarily for target shooting on paper because they cut extremely clean holes for scoring and they're very accurate up close. They're not really great for long range because they bleed velocity very quickly. Now they can be a pretty good pest control pellet up close because that flat head dumps a ton of energy into the target. Next, you've got your dome pellets. This variety has a rounded or domed head and is generally regarded as the most accurate pellet when shooting for range. It retains energy and stability over longer distances, and because of the consistent accuracy, it's also a favorite amongst airgun hunters. A close cousin to the dome pellets are the pointed pellets. They are exactly as their name implies, pointed. Now these pellets promise to have deeper penetration, but at the cost of sacrificing long-range accuracy. They are perhaps my least favorite of the four styles simply because they are seldom very accurate. However, there have been those occasions where they were the only pellet that worked well in a particular airgun, so it's important to have them in the mix, just in case. Lastly, there are the hollowpoint pellets. These pellets also resemble exactly what their name implies. They are hollow at the point of the pellet. Some hollow points are more hollow than others, and some go as far as to cut grooves to aid expansion on impact. One of my all-time favorite hollowpoint pellets is the H&N Barracuda Hunter Extreme. It comes in 177, 22, and 25 calibers and has an X cut into the head. This allows the pellet to expand at much lower velocities, making it very effective on small game. We could spend hours talking about all the different variations in pellets, but essentially there are just a couple more important points that you need to know. And we're going to start with the general rule regarding calibers, which goes like this. 177 for feathers and 22 for fur. This is pretty self-explanatory. The 177 is a great plinking caliber and certainly suitable for very small game and pests. When it comes to fur animals like squirrel and rabbit, 22 and larger calibers are a much better choice. Weight is going to be the next important point of note. The weight of the pellet is going to determine the velocity of the pellet. After years of testing, I've found that really lightweight pellets and really heavy pellets don't work as well as those that are just right. There are always exceptions to that rule depending on your airgun, but it's safer to stick somewhere in the middle to middle high for pellet weight. In 177, that's going to be around 8 to 10 grains. In 22, that's going to be around 12 to say 19, maybe 20 grains. One point of caution, really light pellets, especially alloy 177 pellets, are usually very inaccurate and can reach supersonic velocities, making a very loud crack upwards of 120 decibels. It's really best to avoid them for the sake of your ears, and if you're shooting a spring or gas rim airgun, for the sake of your gun's internal components. Lastly, consider the overall brand quality. European pellets like H&N, JSB, and RWS have an international reputation for producing high-quality, consistently accurate pellets. They will cost a bit more than generic commodity pellets, but they often deliver exactly where it counts, and that's consistent accuracy time and time again. Finding the most accurate pellet for your airgun can not only be a challenge, it can be expensive. For that reason, I like to recommend the various pellet samplers from H&N, JSB, RWS, and Crosman. Put together, they represent a few dozen pellet choices that would cost hundreds of dollars to duplicate if you bought full tins of all the included pellets. From there, all you need is a little bench time to find the pellet that's just right for your airgun.